All right. Welcome to the June 3rd, 2026 Plastow Planning Board meeting. Charlene, could you call the roll, please?
Yep, Richard Anthony.
Here.
Karen Robinson.
Yep.
Dan Kane.
Here.
Rich Leclerc.
Here.
Nolan Pelletier.
Could come today.
Was here.
Well, I know he's around, but he needs.
Nolan, say
Nolan
here.
Pelletier, all right. Bill Coy.
Here.
Elizabeth Costa.
Yep.
Shay Raymaker.
Here.
All right. For purposes meeting, we have our planning administrator, Shay Raymaker, will be participating. The Board of Selectmen alternate will be participating, and our minutes taker, Charlene, will be participating. All right. Just,
I never have anything to say.
well, you know, if the moment, you know, grips you.
That's not true. I remember you telling us how much you loved the midnight session one time.
Jeez. All right, it looks like we have some minutes from May 20th. If you've had an opportunity to review them, any changes, comments or such?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from May 20th.
Do I have a second?
Second
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right, 5-0-0. Okay. All right. PB 2605, which was continued from March 18th and extended on May 20th, 2026. We're continuing it to June. Is that there is a request to continue it to June 17th, correct?
Correct.
All right. So, and that's just me. You would have to grant us the extension. All right. So, what that means, and I assume that the public is here for that 2605.
Well, they didn't get the information.
Usually the agendas and stuff, do you guys?
I believe the agenda was posted, right?
The agenda was posted.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was still going on. I would say it's in there.
Right. Exactly.
So it's the 17th.
Yeah, so the applicant made the request to continue, but the board has to officially move that at the hearing. I did post under the meeting materials in two separate places the request for continuance that's included and says it will be discussed on the 17th.
Right. And again, I guess it's worthwhile to indicate what the reason is for continuing it. I mean, there is a process that's going back and forth with our consultant and the applicant's engineer, to work out certain aspects of the application. All right, so they're basically, granting an extension to June 17th so that those technical aspects of the application can be worked out. So with that said, PB 2605 will be continued until June 17th. This will constitute, the notice, for the public. We will post that information out on the website indicating that it has been extended. But relevant to this application, Mr. Couillard, you said that you wanted to perhaps have a site walk. Okay. And again, just for the purposes of the public, because again, if we're going to do a site walk for the planning board to actually go out to the site, it'll be publicly noticed that the planning board will be conducting an on-site walk for this application, and the public, if the public wanted to also attend, it's a public meeting, and the public could also go. So we're in the process of just firming that up. Date-wise, I don't know where we stand with that.
Saturday would be great if you guys can do it.
Okay.
I could do 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m.
Yeah, to me, it would be the earlier the better because I have an Eagle Scout ceremony at 11.
Okay. So
Right.
1, 2, 3.
I can do, given it, probably somewhere around 9:30, I think would probably be better.
That way you guys make
What
your
Saturday?
meetings.
This one,
This Saturday?
I think so.
Can't do it.
Okay. All right, well, then someone else will just have
Someone
to
else
take minutes.
Take
then, you
minutes,
know,
yeah.
with respect to it. All right, so what do you want?
9:30.
So it sounds like.
Where are we meeting?
The intersection of the proposed Coles Way and Hoyt Farm Road.
La Jolla Farm Road.
So right where Hoyt Farm Road is.
Yeah.
All right, so 9:30 Saturday.
Yep.
Shane will take care of it.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll notice that. And again, the public is welcome to attend, that site walk.
Yeah, I'll have donuts and coffee, bottle of vodka, or whatever else.
Oh, excellent.
I mean,
It's 5 o'clock sometime, right?
full beans. Thank you.
Okay, see you Saturday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Al.
All right. That kind of frees up the schedule a little bit. So in terms of like master plan, update discussion, I mean, that's an ongoing process. We've solicited input from various departments and such, and we've received a number of responses to date. We have something from the Historical Society, Board of Selectmen responses. I think to date, Shay, you said that we got a response from the fire department, yes or no?
Yeah, we have received responses from Board of Selectmen, Cable Committee, Cemetery Sexton. Heard that the Conservation Commission discussed it, although I haven't gotten those comments back yet.
We're reviewing those tomorrow night. I put the draft together, but I want the Conservation Commission just to bless it.
Yep.
So we should do that tomorrow night.
I also have responses back from the fire chief, the Historical Society, police chief, and the water department.
Okay. Conservation's outstanding. Well, it's going to be tomorrow. Are there any others? I mean, who's outstanding? I guess that would be.
Just pull up who else I sent it to.
This process went pretty quick getting everything back from everyone, right?
Yeah, it seemed to be. I mean, I kind of think that's the way to go. I mean, at least, we have input. If we think, maybe, at this point, I think, when evaluating what we got back, maybe, we go back to whoever responded. Maybe we have something that we want to kind of ask them, or maybe refine something. But then ultimately, I think this board can, take that input, develop what we have for the master plan and such. And then, I don't know if one more round or whatever, if we want to bounce it off somebody again, but I think that's, just sort of that back and forth process is what we should use to sort of inform what we're doing here. I don't know if there's going to have to be like a working session of some kind where, we kind of, like looking at some of these dates and such. I mean, I don't think like ongoing. I think that's just going to be a drill where we just turn around and say, just update the dates. I don't think that's going to require too much in the way of, scrutiny and such.
Well, the Conservation Commission, actually, we went through everything, and as the guidelines requested, we prioritized it, and then we made dates. So
Okay.
we moved, either things were completed, or they're ongoing, or we took them off the list, if you will. And I think there's just one or two that we took off the list. So everything's listed as high priority, low priority, or
Okay.
it's gone,
Well, I mean, should we just use that methodology then for all the other
I
ones?
don't know, it was easy because I just followed what was asked,
Yeah.
you know? And then, so we went through and did it that way. And tomorrow night, we'll just go through and tweak everything. Because I took the notes, but I was writing them on the action plan. I don't know. As the meeting was going on, I was probably becoming less precise, so.
All right.
But we should have all that, but that's the format we used.
Okay. So Shay, this, the larger, where the 2026 master plan activity log and priorities, is that exhaustive?
That includes all of the action items in the implementation section of the master plan. And that's just me throwing together the feedback that I've gotten from various departments
Okay.
onto that document.
All right, so this actually incorporates the feedback that we got.
Correct.
All right, that's fantastic, actually.
So once I get that stuff back from Conservation Commission, I can do the same thing and throw that in.
All right, so this will basically be our working document then.
Is that in Word?
Excel.
All right, so I'm going to give you a Word document, so you can just
Dump
cut
it
and
in.
paste it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I mean, again, just looking at the, the top, like NR1 strategy number or whatever. I mean, that's something that you probably updated, right? I mean, like the first one, target date 2022.
We did.
That's all updated then?
We did.
Yep.
Okay.
And some of that is like, there's the Fish and Game Club is engaged in local species development and identification. So we're going to pair some of the Conservation Commission activities with that. I think one of them there is, it's either NR2 or 3, talks about identifying all the trees on the streets.
Okay.
We're not going to do that. Our recommendation is maybe we pick some major streets and identify, some of the more rarer trees.
You don't want to do what they do in Berlin? You ever see what they do in Berlin? They got a tag number on every
Yeah,
single
a
tree in
tree.
Berlin.
Yeah.
And it goes to a directory. Every tree has a number assigned
Yeah.
to it.
Wow. Wow.
The Germans are efficient.
So we're not
Surprising for
talking
the
Berlin, New
Germans.
Hampshire.
No.
That's right.
No, it's a real Berlin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean,
was
Berlin, New
unbelievable
Hampshire.
when I
I was
was
like,
over there. Every tree had a number on it, a tag.
well, the last
Glasgow just
the
takes
last
them
stamp made in Berlin in World War II
They used to,
was made a couple hours before the
Glasgow
Soviets
does.
rolled into the center. So,
there's still bullet holes over there.
all right. So, I mean, unless anyone has a suggestion, I think this is great where Shay's aggregating responses. So,
Yes.
I mean, this will basically, looks like this is going to be our working document to go through.
Very good.
All right.
Very good.
Okay.
Well done.
Anything else in particular to talk about on the implementation side, or? I have a few generic, I'm going to bounce back to, again, we just talked about, continuing PB 2605. Are we having on June 7th and June 17th, is Mr. Keach going to be joining us?
Yes.
Okay. I know that there's been some ongoing back and forth, maybe a little confusion. I thought it would have been a good idea to have, a representative, in this case, vice chair or something from the Highway Advisory Committee, just because, we've received we'll call it a butter or community concern that's not necessarily in, the purview or the wheelhouse of the planning board, okay? And, rather than just sort of directing, somebody, a concerned citizen to some abstract website, I thought maybe it would be a good idea that we could actually have somebody, just sort of give a generic overview,
Joe.
that,
Liz, you had given your email to that when they were here.
They sent me the documentation that they had.
yeah,
I forwarded it to the select board representative who sits on the highway and safety.
okay,
And he is going to try and convene a meeting
okay,
with the committee and have these two lovely women come and speak of their concerns. I just thought that was the best avenue, as they were like really upset, and let's just get you in front of the highway and safety.
yeah,
And do what we need to do and let them say their piece and see how the town and see how the police and highway can figure out, like, let's find a solution.
okay.
I think it's, instead of the back and forth and all of that, let's just bring it right to the market and get it.
Yeah, no, I think that's my point. It's just that, there's things that the planning board can talk about, site applications,
Right,
master plan stuff generically. But rather than just telling somebody that we don't do that, I think it's beneficial to say, we'll let you know who does, so that
Right,
they don't.
and I understand that, but they had real concerns about the roadway.
Right.
I have concerns. I drive up and down Forest Street every day, 2 or 3 times a day, just like Dan does. And it's getting unsafe. So let's bring their concerns and have them speak to their concerns. That petition, to me, spoke volumes with those 60 signatures. And I know several of the people on there.
Okay.
And, if that woman took the time to
Right.
get those signatures, let's bring it to where it needs to be.
No, fair enough then.
I think that's
So
great.
maybe that's the mechanism that we don't necessarily.
Yeah, so
know.
I just texted Mr. Gifford
Okay.
and I will, he hasn't responded back, so
Okay.
I will let you know, how that's gonna roll out.
All right. Excellent.
Will that be posted? Will you be sending a notification? Just because I know there's specific people, but there might be other people that have the same concerns
Right.
that may not be aware. So
Right.
I don't want to have it be a thing where we say, we already had a meeting and we went over these things and have a whole bunch of people saying,
I believe that the meetings are posted,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, they'll be out there, so they'll know when the meetings are, and then eventually we're gonna talk about it too at the selectmen's meetings as well.
Yeah, so,
Because, it has to go from them, and we should talk about it too, because then obviously those are taped, so everyone can see that.
right, well, if I could be mistaken, but basically they would put forward recommendations, but the implementation on that would fall to the Board of Selectmen.
Correct.
yes.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
they have authority.
Yeah, they have the authority to do so.
So, just to, keep it generic and not necessarily about this application, because we're not talking about this application.
It's the
I think that, that mechanism that you just talked about would work very well. All right. Because it isn't just Forest Street that we're going to hear things about.
Correct.
All right. So if we, if there was, I even think that maybe at some point, the planning board, in the spirit of master plan, transportation / traffic calming, I don't, that if we had, let's say, a public hearing and basically have it be, you got a complaint about the roads or something like that,
Well, we have the petition.
come in and have your say. If what your anecdotes are, And if people have surveys and things like that, present your surveys. And then the mechanism is, all right, you close the hearing. We have minutes now, and maybe those minutes get forwarded to
How do we
Highway, Board of Selectmen.
How do we find a solution?
Hmm?
That's what we're here to do, is
Right.
find solutions.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I didn't want was something where we don't do that. You need to go find something. It's like, no, well, we can do something. And, we might not have purview, over the roads, but we can have, we can
Have discussion.
forward information, have discussions, and, make people feel that they are empowered and people are listening.
Yes. And I think leaders need to listen.
Right.
So,
North Avenue, Main Street.
Nolan, I hear you, and
It's
it's
been-
being
I mean-
worked on. I can honestly tell you it's being worked on.
The one thing we do know, there's those 3 areas on Main Street, they talked about the stop signs. Those have been approved.
So,
They got them down as a date for 2027. We're trying to get it pulled in. So that would be at North Ave, East and West Pine Street, and right out here in front of Town Hall,
yeah.
So it'll be a 3-way stop at
north.
North.
4-way at East and West Pine.
Are they still going to be allowed to
What
turn
is-
left?
If,
That's up
That's
to the
another
town. So that's going to be,
Big problem.
because I think, I've been saying this for a while. I think, say you come off North Ave, you take the right. I'd like to see it, no left-hand turn there, because that's where a major bottleneck happens right there.
Yep, it is. It's exactly what it is.
kind of on topic, but also not on topic, is that I've seen, everywhere, I ride my motorcycle all the time, and it's getting really dangerous at the corner of North Ave because people, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, they're going left and right at the end. And what they're doing is they're when they're going left, they're blocking
everything.
they're blocking the left-hand side. They're going way over and it's not just this happened once.
You can't see.
It's
Yeah.
every other car.
It's
That
the
has to
same
be
thing if you're taking a
chopped.
left onto Main Street from West Pine.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, so they cut off your line of sight. You're taking the left turn.
Yeah.
So not only do you have the car that comes
Coming
upon you
down
right
or
away,
this way, right.
coming south on Main, you
Yep.
can't see what's coming now
Right.
north.
And I think when North Ave and Havel starts, we're gonna see a lot of redirected traffic down Sweet Hill, Forest.
Yep.
and Through Plastow and other ways, and we gotta kind of have some conversations about that.
All right.
Being down about the heavy trucking. I saw a Tomeo truck, huge, flying down Main Street just yesterday. I mean, flying. And it was a big tractor,
There's still big trucks coming
big,
through.
big trucks.
Yeah.
And it was probably a 40-footer. It was
Oh, they are.
big
They're huge.
for a dump.
I
It
know.
was
what you're
huge.
talking about.
And he was just flying.
They're using Main Street as a cutaway.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Right, 'cause
125.
they go
I don't know
over
if there's anything
that.
to do
Some
about
of those stop
Over to
signs
North
might
Ave.
slow some
Three
of those,
stop signs may
slow it down a bit.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're going to, we'll be able at least to get some data or
Right.
can gather data.
So it's a start of-
or anecdotal
It's a
evidence.
start of doing something there, but we'll have the discussion too
See what
about
it
the no
does.
left
Yeah.
on
I mean,
Chandler.
this truck was cooking. It was flying.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
This is summertime now too.
No, I think that's a good, I think that's a good.
Camper.
Yeah.
Cut
It's a
through.
start.
Yeah, so I think maybe at some point, I mean, if the board's amenable, and we can talk about just using, the board or whatever as a clearinghouse, and then just providing information and, to leaders
What
and
meetings
let
are.
leaders have conversations and,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have to be adversarial. It could be, we have a meeting, you have information gets pushed to somebody. Because I was, I think maybe there might have been a perception that we're bringing people in here to be like yelled at. And it's like, no, we're not. We're not bringing people in to be on the receiving end of something. It's just about, giving the impression that the correct impression
Yeah,
that we're listening.
And if a traffic thing comes across here for development going in or anything like that, let us know, and the selectmen is the reps, will take it to the highway group, advisory group, go from there, and then we can see it through from there.
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
That's probably the best avenue.
Okay. so that, I guess the other question is that I think we had asked whether or not it makes sense to have, Mr. Garlington here, or not. I mean, do we think, are we satisfied with the fact that we're going to have our consultant answering questions, or do we need to, have anyone else?
I mean, as long as Steve Keach and Dan are on the same page and they've conveyed
Right.
everything, I
Right.
think I personally would be fine
And I think they are.
with Keach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
They do
I mean, the
their-
problem is sometimes people represent things, and when you kind of get out there, you see that
No, I think the two of them are.
there's a difference between cup and lip, so to speak. So, but as long as that, as long as that gets reflected, I'm fine with just Steve.
all right, so I guess that's a question if Mr. Keach is satisfied with whatever comes out of his review, for June 17th, then,
And maybe he wants Dan there.
Well, the thing too is as long as, and it's not only Steve, but Dan's got it, that he's conveyed, he's seen the responses, and that he's okay.
It's easy enough, Shay, what to do. Just when you get Steve Keach's response, just send it off to Dan, see if Dan's got any concerns or no concerns.
Yeah, I think it's as easy as that, and just getting
Yeah.
something else simple in writing from Dan after
Yeah.
that. Make sure
Yep.
everything's
Yeah.
okay. All right, that sounds like a way forward. I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
Anything else, sort of generically about transportation and advisory boards and things like that, and working together as sort of a collegial type organization?
Kumbaya.
All right. Let me see. Let's make some quick notes. I don't think this is going to be a long meeting. It doesn't have to be.
No.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Got it.
How about impact fees? I have a note that we had indicated that, we were kind of, at some point with, we paid somebody and then there was some back and forth, but I can't remember if there needs to be some sort of public hearing on it.
I haven't gotten anything back yet. I mean, if the planning board is changing the impact fees, there would need to be a public hearing for that. But I don't have any further correspondence.
Okay.
Just one question I did get from the consultant was related to the new road fee, which is $5 per foot. They were wondering what the methodology was behind that fee. And this just predated my time working with the board. I wasn't sure if anyone had some more information on that, or if I have to go search other avenues to do.
The consultant's asking us about a new road fee?
So there's something in the impact fees
Okay.
noted as a new road fee. So when applicants propose a new road, they have to pay this impact fee related to that new road that they're constructing. So what was the methodology behind starting that fee?
I think, Karen, you're probably the only one that was on the board at the time.
I was going to say, it's too bad the best guy would have been Tim.
Yeah. Well, that was 2019,
Yeah, that was
right?
2019,
Yeah,
right?
and I can reach out to Tim.
Yeah, I think
No,
that's probably the
I was
easiest
just
thing,
going to
yeah.
suggest, ask Tim, because he's the one that
Yeah.
would know a lot more than we did on the board.
I mean, when we were going through,
We were going
the
through millions
vetting
of them.
process, I mean, I went back and looked at a lot of this stuff in 2019.
No, a lot of it
I don't,
happened.
for some reason, I don't recall the new road.
No, I don't. I thought the road.
Ask Tim, because I do remember that.
I thought
do.
the impact fees the update as it related to transportation of roads was something that I didn't think we were doing that.
Was suggested.
Just because it was a question of how,
Yeah, but
but this is a pre-existing,
this is pre-existing.
Okay. Right.
They just have a question on the pre-existing,
Right.
not changing fee that's existing in there.
Right.
But I will follow up with Tim.
tell us
I would.
more about this. Okay. Dan, you have interesting things on legislative updates, correct?
Well, we'll know tomorrow, but you know, I probably
How much
cursed
got
myself
passed?
when I said, oh, you know, things seem fairly innocuous. And then they went and took dead bills and resurrected them by sticking them on live bills, which they often do
Yeah.
at the end of the session. But there's two out there that are definitely, one severely impacts PRDs and allows, you know, essentially invasion of buffers and perimeters. And we'll see, this is supposed to be a final hearing tomorrow. And that's the last day that this conference committee can be. It also essentially permits a fairly large number of houses on a dead-end street.
Right.
You know, right now, the maximum length in our subdivision regulations is 2,000 feet in total. You know, that includes the cul-de-sac that would be at the end. Well, 2,000 feet is 10 houses per side,
Yeah.
you know, with 200 feet of road frontage.
Yeah.
You know, this essentially glams on to the requirements under the fire code, which in some cases, depending upon the area, could allow 100 houses on a dead end. So it drastically impacts some of what's going on. So that's one. And the other is it kind of, you know, blows up through by expanding the multifamily development and commercial property, you know, and to the point that if you fight them, you know, we'd end up paying their legal fees, you know. So they wrote that right into the statute, which is very rare. So that's obviously sending a message as to how they're going to solve some of the housing, you know, is through a multifamily and combining it in commercial zones, commercial districts. Those two haven't passed yet.
No.
And I don't, they may get vetoed ultimately, you know, the governor. But we'll know tomorrow at some point in time, you know. I tried to find out if anything happened today and I couldn't see anything. You know, there's other stuff allowing, you know, small houses and yurts and, you know, ADUs in non-conforming structures, which essentially was a clarification of one of last year's statutes. But in terms of a town that's trying to kind of manage its residential development, the first two I talked about are substantial. They substantially change. And it's what the state's legislature is saying is we don't trust the towns to regulate their own borders.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and what I've seen is you know, watching this now for a few years, is next year there'll be all this legislation to try and unwind this year. All of that failed, trying to unwind what happened last year. All of that failed. And in fact, these two make what happened last year worse.
I think they're going to be vetoed.
So,
Karen, you
I don't
had
know.
something to say?
Yeah. I mean, this is a question I probably should have asked a long time ago, but, you know, on this particular development, for example, they aren't renting any other.
Keep it generic.
Okay, well, okay. When you say you're putting up certain things, okay, is there any clause that says they could do rentals instead of selling them as housing?
Is there anything stopping, let's say, a developer from if they had a bunch of
I wanted to
houses
know.
and let's say they didn't sell them, but then now they want to rent them?
I don't think so.
No.
yeah,
No.
single family housing, that's the,
I mean, I could rent out my house, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Are you talking about multifamily though?
No, I'm talking about singles.
Oh, single family, you can always rent them.
I mean,
They could be rented no matter what.
yeah, if you have single family detached, you can rent them. You can rent single family detached.
Yeah, if I moved somewhere else and wanted to rent my house, I could do that.
Yeah.
Same with you.
Well, what I meant was the sextets, I guess is what I'm talking about. You know, just making a single bedroom, a single that, 6 of them, 8 of them. is what he's putting in there, but I just,
Keep it generic.
Talking like a rooming house kind of thing?
well, I'm just worried about what it would
Well,
turn
that would
into.
have to be a permitted use, and
Right.
it's not in the LDR, nor in the
Okay, that's what I
MDR.
wanted to know. Does it make a difference?
Or
Okay.
else it's not permitted in a bunch of places.
Okay.
I don't have the full list on the top.
Yeah, okay.
No, I was just curious on territory, where you can do that, where you can't.
All right. Is there anything else with respect to, what do you want to call it? Help me out, Noel.
There is one other thing is and this governor hasn't signed it. It's funny, they were calling it the pickle bill, but it prohibits towns from licensing homestead food.
Oh, Jesus.
So no more licenses for homestead food. So it used to be that depending upon where you sold it, there was a license category and a non-licensed.
Yep.
They've eliminated and it's pretty brutal and blunt. It just said, town shall not, license, no town shall license a homestead food operation.
Ooh. Oof.
There's also another bill. I'm sure you're aware of it. House Bill 1195. It looks like the language has changed since the last time I looked at this, so I'm not gonna quote it. But it's about child daycare centers
Yes.
in commercial
Yep.
districts.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just one to be aware of.
I mean, we have family day and in like permitted in all residential districts. This is related to commercial districts,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So whatever happens will likely become the part of our work plan for the proposed work plan for the zoning ordinances.
Well, I guess it'll be what it'll be.
Yeah. I just, personally, I can kind of understand the multifamily and commercial. I can kind of get that because that's where they were heading. This idea of starting to invade, it kind of
Exactly. It's invasion.
eliminates some of the incentive for PRD, which I think very much benefits towns.
Yeah. You're not allowing the town to be the way they want to be.
Yeah. So that's disappointing in a sense.
Yep.
And it was killed like rapidly and then it reappeared.
Appeared.
Yeah.
That happens.
It's like Dracula,
Won't go away.
Somebody's lobbying it.
We didn't get the stake
way.
in deep enough.
Yeah.
Somebody's lobbying it.
We got to get a deeper one.
Yeah, right.
No.
We need a bigger stake.
Yeah, bigger state.
Oh, no, please.
All right. Let's see, anything else? Anything on CIP? It's a little early for that.
Well, we're going to have our first meeting sometime soon. I do have an agenda. I mean, well, I've kind of really started peeling apart the CIP. I want to get a better understanding of the needs, the process, and also where there's money, because it's no mystery. Virtually all of the discretionary, recommendations got shot down in this last, I don't think that's going to change in the near future.
No.
So the idea is, and the idea is then, how do we make sure we have some sort of functioning CIP and that we're providing for stuff, So that's the impetus of me kind of looking at it differently.
Well,
So-
again, Tim was the one that originally started
But
it
it's,
at the very
all that
beginning.
was a big spreadsheet.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
This looks at now,
So-
yeah, but this is different. This looks at now like,
no,
okay,
it's
how the
much
money's
more
gonna,
involved,
how
but
the,
I
how the
didn't
money's
know.
gonna come.
Well, I have a question. Just again, a lot of the CIP warrants that happened, for last year, they got shot down. Funding wise, they were all to be raised from taxation.
Mhm.
Right. I was just wondering, what was the logic behind that? I mean, I think some of them, why couldn't it just be taken from the unassigned? fund rather than through taxation. I mean, there should be a mix, I guess. If you had something that, that's on the hierarchy of, that'd be really great to have, maybe you raise it through taxation. And then the other one where it's like, we need to fund this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to be jammed up later. Then why wouldn't that one be taken from just sort of, from the unassigned fund? Everyone hates it when you phrase it that it won't be raised from new taxation. It's excess from old taxation.
Over taxation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, we know what the methodology is why you need the CIP, right? Or why we have it.
Well, I mean, CIP is going to recommend, but when you write the warrant about how it's being funded, that's not coming from the CIP.
CIP.
That's probably Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, you'd have to look
Not what it
at
was.
yeah, I'd have to look at each one, see how it's worded.
That's by statute.
Yeah,
Some of the word is
because I think they
different,
were
right?
all direct. They were all direct.
They all would have been we had it in there, how much it was gonna raise the taxes, right, based on, was it a $400,000 house, I think we said?
Yeah, something like that.
I
Is that a
forget,
caveat of the actual CIP? Is that how it's written, how it has to be done?
I think it has to be written a specific way. If we're putting money into a trust fund. I do believe, but I would ask.
Yeah.
Well, anything that sits, quote, outside the
Outside
budget
that
has
has to
has a
be-
way to.
Yeah.
right,
has a-
right, it has its own account, they all have their own account.
They have their own account, so it has to be written a
And,
specific.
it has to go in an account where it's, interest bearing, so
Yeah.
it gains interest.
My recommendation is to take maybe a little fresh look at this. And see, because there's
Differently.
something, there are things that are necessary, there are things maybe not as necessary, so that we're not getting to the end of the year and we say we need stuff and it's just.
Well,
not
a
there.
lot of it's to put money away for certain
Yeah, I
things, like
know.
like a ladder truck's gonna cost 4 million, so you try to spread it out. And at least you're gaining interest instead of having to take a bond out where you gotta pay interest on it, it takes longer. It's really kind of a way to budget when you figure something's gonna need to be replaced. You'll have the money there for it.
Yeah.
But sometimes big ticket items, it's worth financing them, given the.
I mean, somehow, we got a bond on the fire truck, right?
Yeah.
It's,
You get favorable financing, you get favorable rates, it kind of works.
and at that time it did too, right? Because that was like during COVID.
Yeah.
So the rates were extremely low.
Exactly.
So that one made sense. Plus, we had some money we took from ARPA, and we took some money that they already had in the CIP towards it too, to lower the cost.
Yeah, and this isn't the best rate environment right today.
Right.
Correct.
So,
All right. On the agenda here, we have a application for an alternate. All right. I think you should have it in front of you. It's Jeffrey Adams. We can, if we have a motion and then a second, we can then, move to discuss before we vote, I
I'll
guess.
make a motion
Right.
to approve Jeffrey Adams as an alternate to the, alternate member of the planning board.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion on the application?
Is a rule the way I am with most people when they want to be an alternate. I'm generally in favor of it, only because you want to get more people involved. And I don't think I've ever really turned anyone down who's wanted to be an alternate that I can recall. That's just how I've usually looked at things.
Karen?
Okay, he was, the board did vote not to reinstate him because for 8 years, what he has done, he has always offered his, opinions and everything as usual, and then was asked several times, because he was the only alternate, to replace somebody who had left. And he refuses every single time to fill in or do for somebody, and then they have to go out and look for anybody anyway, and that happened to be me one time. So, once I got in, then he took the opportunity, and this was a special meeting on a certain vote, and said that I was elected, I was in, it was my first meeting. And it was him that said that she does not have the right to vote. I am the alternate, I do. And so it was a large vote, a good vote, and it's just every step he made during all those years that he was with us. So it was Laurie and I and the other people now. We all voted that he was not going to be an alternate once again. There was a lot of mistrust, there was a lot of misunderstanding, and he doesn't have any modern, I mean, it's very hard to get hold of him. It's very hard for him to do any of this stuff. He just refuses.
I mean, I don't know. The only time I saw him was here,
Is this
so I don't know.
the one that was in here
Yep,
Yes.
months ago? He doesn't even have an email address.
nothing.
Um,
And he will not get off of being an alternate. He just wants to get in there, and he just constantly is against.
I don't necessarily have someone who just always wants to be an alternate. I guess my question would be, when he said that he was the alternate and he should have the vote, not you, were you an alternate as well, Karen, or were you a full member at that time? I'm just trying to
No,
understand the whole
I
thing.
had attended meetings, and they
Okay.
asked me to, since I had been attending them, would you please
But you were elected.
run for it? I was elected. Yes, I was elected
So you were an elected member,
at the time.
and he
That
said that
vote.
he was an alternate, that
Right.
it should be him and not you. That's,
Right.
I'm just trying to get the full picture, is
Yep.
what I'm trying to do.
Yep. And there actually is no law stating that I had no right to vote. And the
Really?
lawyer actually said that, but he said it's not up to me either. That's what he said, up to him, that it had to be a decision with the board.
And the chair allowed it?
So it was unbelievable. But anyway, so I'm just going by his past record, period, and I know it well. And that's what happened. He was voted, no, you cannot be an alternate again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know the past record. It was before my time.
Yeah, I
sitting
think he might have been an alternate for like 8 years. I mean, something.
According to this, he was an alternate
He's
Looks
always
like-
been an alternate.
from 2012 to 2019,
Yep.
from what he wrote. If that's accurate or not, I don't know.
He's been for 8 years before that incident. 8 years.
Right. Any other discussion on the application? All right.
I mean, my concern was when he basically said he didn't have an email or computers. So, I mean, that's
Right.
kind of is it a requirement? No. Is it something that is pretty important to do business nowadays? The answer is absolutely.
Oh, you have to have it now.
I'll tell you, what I'm going to do is abstain because I don't know enough information about him. So I don't think it's fair for me to vote one way or the other because I don't have enough information. I mean, I was all set to say yes until Karen just spoke,
It's only is her,
you know,
in
so.
her, I want to say testimony, but I mean,
No, what I would do is,
experience, yeah.
the reason I'm abstaining is I don't have enough information. I've been able to look into it to verify certain things.
But we did.
I
meet-
do trust Karen.
We did meet him, and he said he had no technology. I mean, all that's going to do is tie this board up when he comes in here and he has no
That's
knowledge.
what he does.
It's going to make everybody's life miserable
Blow it up purposely.
and longer. That's my personal
All
opinion.
right. Any other discussion? All right, so call the vote. All in favor?
Was there a motion? Oh, there it is. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. All in favor? Abstain?
I'll abstain.
Against?
Against.
Aye.
Yes.
Against?
Against.
All right, so it's going to be, what, 041?
Zero.
All right, okay. Motion does not carry. All right. Anything of particular note on the financials that we have here? Shay? No? I assume the legal, the $76.50, that must be from the condo, some sort of condo association review or something like that.
That was a question that I had for legal.
Okay.
The
Okay,
condo review goes under escrow, so the applicant pays for that.
okay. Cool beans.
76 that has to be some sort of like disbursement or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't, I was going to say, I mean, what does that look like? You know, like, no, like,
Pretty much.
15 minutes.
I first looked at it and go, did someone miss a zero? You know?
all right. Anything else? Again, we'll just reiterate the fact that we're probably looking at having a site walk, Saturday, 9:30. That'll be publicly noticed. And we're looking at probably, you know, on Luke's Way there, or Hoyt Road there.
Hoyt Farm.
Hoyt Farm.
Hoyt Farm Road.
If you go to Luke's Way, you'll be by yourself.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, it doesn't exist yet.
Actually, I think what would be good about that site walk, we'll actually get an eye on what maybe some of the concerns are.
yeah, so,
I think it's a very smart thing to do.
Yeah, I'm a fan of site walks in a lot
Yeah,
of
me
cases.
all right.
I've done many, just not on this board.
The legal notice, notice, this is just applying to the, what are we doing? Yeah, it's just, I mean, this is going to be noticed anyway, so this is just for our information. All right, there's nothing else. I'm going to close the meeting at 7:25. Thank you.